sky. Well, you cry out and you don't know why. Come on now, let your feet fly. Come on now, let's go for a ride. Come on now, let your feet fly. Oh, let it fly. Come on, come on.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Red Couch. I'm Ash,
I'm Izzy, Dakota Jones.
and we got say your
Black
full name.
Winds,
Oh, say your full name.
bestial
You don't
savior
have-
of the undead legions.
All right, so that's way too hard to do, so we're gonna call them Jerry and Kelly
There you go.
because it's really hard to remember
This is
those
my
names.
alcoholic beverage. Oh, here we go.
There you go.
All right.
Everybody got one? Cheers, everybody.
Cheers,
Salute.
everyone.
Salute.
So since we started doing this thing, before we started, I was like, oh, I should call Jerry. I bet Jerry would do it. But Jerry's out of town constantly, like always out of town. And anyway, these guys are driving past my house the other day. Hey, what's going on? We want to stop by. But Bonnie's actually here.
Hey,
So,
Bonnie.
hi Bonnie. And
We even got Trevor from BLASPHEMY Christ in the background.
Yes.
yeah, I want to talk about
Sure.
blasphemy, go to Christ. I want to talk about tumult. I want to talk about blasphemy. I want to talk, but really, I just want to talk to you guys about the last 35 years of hanging around.
Yeah, man, a lot of good times we've had, huh?
Yeah.
A lot of parties.
Yeah.
Especially back in the 80s. Joe would know mostly about that.
I was saying to Kelly, like we're here.
We are.
There's a lot of us who weren't here, man. So
Yeah,
here's
a lot
to
of
you
people
guys.
who are gone.
I know.
all those who call him, man.
Yeah,
That's right.
I know. Jeannie.
Oh, too many to count.
Too many. Yeah.
Too many to name.
Yeah. Too
I
many.
mean,
Name them all. We'll
and that
pick
started
up
in the
an hour
90s.
of this.
Yeah.
That all started in the 90s when the fucking heroin kicked
Went
in.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, goddamn Port City, you know.
Yeah.
It's just fucking, what was it? 2/3 of the scene were wired, 1/3 of the scene died, and the other third of the scene is still just trying to pull themselves out of it or still fucking spiraling, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
So it was nasty.
Yeah. It was nasty.
A lot of people dabbled in it and got out of it, which those were the smart ones,
I didn't bother with it.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But,
It became part of the scene. That's
yeah,
the sad thing, right?
that was the
Yeah,
unfortunate
yeah,
thing.
that's
It was
unfortunate.
pretty fun, man. Like we were at
Until fentanyl came around and ruined it all.
everyone knows.
No, it's a real mess.
It was pretty fun today. We were
We've
at
gone sideways now.
Yeah, man.
we're
that
at Travis's
shit's a fan.
film festival where him and his buddies won a bunch of stuff. It was awesome. And I looked across the street and went, oh, the Watt Gallery.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah,
Good
dude.
old what gal.
It does not look like
Wow.
the Watt Gallery anymore, man.
Sure does.
Those were the days when all the speakeasies popped up, like overnight.
Yeah.
Like, for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And that's all you had was you go to the bar, you fucking party on all night there until fucking you got kicked out. Then you go down to the fucking what gallery or whatever fucking speakeasy that was going on at the time. Knock, you know, the secret knock. You get let in, and then you're drinking until fucking dawn.
Yeah.
And then you do the walk of shame when you walk out. You feel like a fucking vampire.
Yeah,
Because
the
for
sun's
one,
up, yeah.
the sun, you just get hit. You're like, ah.
And dude, getting on the bus with
Yeah.
people going to work
And
and
you're
you're
just fucking hammered, right?
shaky wasted.
Yeah. Sleeping.
It's pretty funny, man. A bunch of those bands. And then, like, well,
Piss
you're...
Queen.
Thank you.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was
We got
pretty
Ash in the house.
funny. Yeah. Billy Hopeless's bands forever. Remember Billy Hopeless one time? He's like, told me, oh, yeah, I want
We're
to...
talking about Billy Hope. Well, who's Billy Hope? Is that Bill Mosh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Mosh. How many names has he gone by
I
now?
know.
AKA,
Well, one
AKA,
good
AKA.
I mean,
Fuck.
Yeah.
it's, you know, give him a pass. Come on.
No, he gets a pass at this point. He's still at it.
Yeah, so give him a pass.
Confused.
Absolutely.
You are your name, man.
Yeah, man.
I know you gotta reinvent yourself every fucking 6 years.
I mean,
Like, what the fuck
he
is
was
happening?
into death metal and black metal.
I've seen the
Back
show.
when nobody else
And he's
was.
literally
Yeah.
crying on the side of the stage, like doing this big emo thing. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? This is Bill Mosh. And he's fucking crying on the side of the stage doing his song. Him and his guitar player or whatever, having a little hissy fucking slap fight outside. I was like, this is fucking wrong. It was like 20
It's against the
wrong.
rules to beat up your old friends, but bandmates sometimes do it. You know, I mean,
What are you talking about?
So-
I never beat up any of my bandmates, but I gotta admit,
I came close to
you
it.
know, argumentally.
If you have to fight with your bandmates,
Yeah,
it's time to
that's
leave.
bad.
Yeah, it's time to go, yeah.
That's what I did with
That's
Necro. I was
physical.
like, fuck this, I'm out. Right? And it got to that point, and I wanted to
Yeah, I
fucking
know.
brawl.
So anyways, in the 80s,
Mm.
who was some of your favorite guys' groups that you guys watched?
Well, I mean, definitely this band, I'm happy to just
Yeah.
be wearing their shirt by
Yeah,
HOC.
HOC. House of
HOC.
There's
Commons.
Andrew and all the
I
boys.
lived with Death
He's a great
Sentence
guy.
Pete for, I don't know, 3-4 years. I lived with Brad Kent for a few years.
Wow.
Of course, he was in Victorian Pork, DOA,
yeah,
The Sick Ones, tons of bands.
yeah.
Of course,
Subhumans, how about the Subhumans?
Subhumans.
Subhumans, yeah,
man,
great
of course,
band.
They were one of them.
Yeah.
Again, cheers to Wimpy.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Cheers to Wimpy and all the boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That guy died at work, man, and that bummed me out.
Yeah.
He died at work.
Yeah.
Fuck, because me and Trevor were just checking out the Subhumans. And I don't know how
Anybody
that-
who should have just dropped on stage, it was him.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I got a photo with him. Me, we're standing in front of the rickshaw. I think it's Steve McBean just came into town for his Black Mountain or whatever, you know, MOC.
Yes, the Black Mountain, yeah,
And
yeah.
then bumped into Dan Walters. Beef was there. Beef of all people. He's fucking awesome. Old school fucking punk. Like from back in the early 80s. I remember him when I was like, you know, this tall. And then all of a sudden, Wimpy walks in, right?
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
So we got a big group photo of us, and that was like one of the last photos before he died.
Yeah.
You know, he died like fucking a couple of months later. I was like, no
It's a
way.
hard life.
Same with
living,
fucking
but
Zippy.
Fucking
Same as
Yeah.
you, yeah.
Zippy, I got a picture with him
Rampage,
at
Brad Kent.
Chuck.
It felt like dominoes. It was like
funeral,
flying
or
goes.
was it? You know, for
I knew it
the
was
Randy,
gonna happen.
Randy Rampage.
They couldn't.
And then we
each
went
other.
to the ends.
Like the Three
Or not the
Stooges,
ends,
the cool
fuck
version.
on,
Yeah.
just off the Victoria Square.
Man,
Fucking,
Brad was my favorite guitarist.
Plaza?
no,
Are you
no,
talking
no.
about Punk House?
Oh,
I
that's
got
really
lost
cool.
there.
Oh man, it's such a big place. All the treasure
Fucking
and shit.
just off the fucking Hayes. It's just at the street from the old York Theater on fucking.
Have a sandwich?
No, I'm good, man.
No, man, that's.
Oh, I can't remember his
You
name.
probably had it before.
Yeah.
By the way, we were there for the after party, so I got a picture with Zippy. You know, me and him, because knowing Zippy since I was fucking 14 as well, right? Then he dies fucking maybe a year later or so, right?
Last time I saw him was at the dam.
You know.
Yeah, that's rough, man.
Yeah, and then, I mean, I'm surprised, like Art Bergman,
Yeah.
you know, he's still going, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
You know what, Art was like real bad shape at one
Oh,
point.
I know.
And then,
Full-blown hair.
you know, like, yeah, I mean,
His
like,
wife,
cause
well, hats off to him.
one of my buddies, Ray Fulber,
Okay.
Ray was the bass player, played with Art for a long time, and also managed him for a while, right? And his brother, I mean, his son's in, trying to remember, can't remember his assembly.
Frontline Assembly?
Yeah, yes,
I've
that's,
heard of him.
yeah, that's his son's band. But anyways, yeah, you know, Ray would tell me stories and say, boy, it was really hard to keep him together,
Oh, I've
right?
heard
You know,
some stories
and he's
about
still going now. I mean, you know, comes back to Vancouver and does shows at the rickshaw, right?
Right on.
Yeah, he's still going strong.
That was one guy who never did pop around my place when Brad Kent was living there. Like everybody else did. Like Rampage was. Of
Yeah,
course,
Randy.
Zippy was basically.
Yeah,
He may as well have had a room. I mean, instead of having to answer the door every other night at 4 in the morning, hey, Jer.
Was that that house
bag
up-
of either weed or some
Is that the house up on the hill?
No, not that place. That,
Oh, okay.
that was like about 3 years after.
So,
Oh, okay.
so you guys, had you ever met, any of you guys ever met, what's his name from Guns N' Roses?
Axl Rose.
No, no, no.
Duff.
Duff.
Duff?
Have you met Duff? Because I met Duff, and Duff used to come up here a lot, right?
Oh, yeah.
Played in
He's
punk
in-
bands.
in the
no, he-
farts, yeah.
Yeah, in the farts, and he was really good friends.
Parts with fucking, what's his Blaine from the Accused?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he played.
Seattle band.
Yeah, Seattle band.
Yeah.
And Duff used to be, well, he's from Seattle, so Duff came up here a lot.
Cool.
So Duff was good friends with Joey and
Yeah.
Art and everybody. He knew, and he used to,
I've heard the
he
story.
used, yeah, he used to sleep at their houses and stuff and wake up next morning like, holy
Yeah.
motherfucker, where am I? What city am I in?
Zippy was telling me one time that, I think they were all at the plaza. They had been to Seattle and played with them, and I think he said, Duff thought that they were all like, you know, like way older, like in their 30s, and they were probably in their 20s, you know, maybe 10 years older.
Yeah,
than
yeah.
Duff or something. I guess Duff's maybe my age. Like
I think he's close to your age, yeah.
And he said, so, I don't know, you probably remember the days way back when everybody would used to cruise out to the brewery of, fucking raid all the beer.
Yes, that's
So they
right.
took him out there and just got him shit-faced to hell. But then, you know, they, you know, would get us back, and that's how we'd get them, you know.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
the booze never runs out with people like that.
It was awesome.
Brad Kent,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
the old gang.
We used to have this scam at the Blue Boy where so they kept all the empties in the underground
Oh, I
parking
know,
garage.
I was
You know what I'm
raised
talking
by the
about?
Blue Boy. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
It's like
So
a tunnel.
we'd wake up
Like,
in
oh,
Pisqueen, we'd wake up, we'd go down there, as many empties as you could carry, walk around to the cold beer and wine, cash them in, and take their beer. All right, let's jam.
The better days were
No.
when the truck would
That's
roll in
funny.
and drop off all the beer. And then it'd be like, okay, 2 arms under the cases, you know, like 14 years old, couple and a half.
I remember at the What Man, we would, me and Pete's gone too, but me and Pete would go up here to the liquor barn. It was an actual liquor store, not just the High Point or whatever
Yeah.
then. We'd buy, whatever, 30 flats of beer,
Oh,
take them back to the What for the weekend,
Yeah.
because it was insane. It was,
And that would go,
Oh.
that'd be all one night.
dude, it was so
Yeah, that's-
stupid.
yeah,
And
yeah.
the VPD would come, like clockwork, bang, 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 give them 6 flats, see you later.
yeah,
And that was
you
that.
gotta pay them off. I mean,
Yeah.
cops are fucking, you know.
And one time, somebody who didn't know the score or whatever, they're like talking to one of these cops, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are really cool," and they're like,
Yeah,
"We know
when we
where all
got
you
the
degenerates
payoff,
are."
We're waiting for it. Now,
Right?
pay me off.
Exactly,
I'm
man.
waiting. Why are we having this conversation?
Then they'd
That's
steal
all.
our skateboards. You know they're doing kick flips down at the. Yeah,
Half the fucking place is drunk, the other half's whacked out on heroin.
so
just
crazy.
sleeping or all
So
pinned.
when did,
And that's when it all got destroyed, man. When everybody
Yeah,
got all
heroin,
that
I
heroin.
mean, because some people, you wouldn't know they were on heroin, and then that was fine if they could keep it together, but some people just
Yeah,
so
could not keep it
fucked
together.
up.
Oh, they'd be on the nod. Or how about the bands that were
Half-a-week.
playing at the What? You know, the guy's fucking going on the nod, he's fucking playing drums, and he just
Yeah.
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 Decide, okay, I'm up again. And then he
Yeah,
just
ready
going.
to go, boys.
The other dude's on the stage singing and puking and fucking.
Yeah.
And
well, it's what he said, right? You know, it's Port City, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Port
that
City.
brought a lot of that stuff in, right? You know.
Those
Whoa.
nights though, like there was all that terrible stuff, but it was also like we just ran everything ourselves. We did everything ourselves. No
Oh,
one
it was
was
always
supposed to-
DIY.
100%.
That's what punk rock was all the fuck about.
100%, dude.
The second wave of hardcore, it wasn't, 20-year-olds fucking glammy, punky, fucking Sex Pistols, the damn sort of shit. But when in the 80s, or, 79, 80, 81, that's when the fucking first wave of hardcore.
Yes.
Hardcore.
And
Hardcore
hardcore
came
was
out.
the kids.
Well, the hardcore is the best part.
Well,
right?
the hardcore was all DIY, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
there was no labels that were going to fucking pick any of this shit up. So kids were fucking writing magazines, starting labels,
Yeah.
doing distro, doing
Yeah, yeah.
all this shit.
Well,
And
like
these
Joe,
are
look at Joey doing the tours down to the States. Like he broke all that in the
Yeah.
beginning.
in a
He
sense,
did, yeah.
They opened the doors.
He opened the
And
doors.
then-
He kicked the doors in,
They started
right?
fucking having
Because
bands
when I
come
used to
down.
go travel down there in the 90s,
Mm.
first thing a bar would say to me, "Oh, you're from Vancouver, yeah. Oh, you know Joey?" Like right off the top, It was
You
just
know
like,
Joey?
"Do you know Joey?" "Yeah, I know Joey." "Oh yeah, well, we love Joey. He comes down all the time." So you knew that he opened up. When I last interviewed Joey, first thing I said to Joey was like, "You're one of the godfathers
Oh,
of,
yeah.
of real punk, like the street essence of it all.
But then also in the
Yes.
hardcore vein too, right?
Yeah.
They were not only in the punk, like 78 and all that shit.
Yeah.
But they were broke in. They actually had to quote the phrase "hardcore '81."
That's right.
You know,
Exactly
they
what I'm
did
trying
that.
to. That's why I'm following what you say. Yeah, exactly.
I
Exactly.
wish I was around in your days. Like,
They,
I was just a few years young,
but
when I missed
I used to
that
go,
first wave.
I respected them when I saw them. I saw them open up once for the Clash, right? And they smoked the Clash that night.
That's what I heard.
You know what? And Joey told me they were in Alberta, of all places.
Yeah.
He was in Alberta. Their manager called them and says, "Do you want to open up for the Clash?" And they go, "Sure. How much? $100. That's all you're going to get."
Yeah.
And they went, "You know what? We're going to
$100.
come. Yeah, I know. We're coming back, and we're going to do it." And when I went to the show,
How about this?
and
If
they
we
went
go
on there
away,
and they stole the show. That the minute that they went on, it was just boom.
Yeah.
40 minutes of just boom, 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 boom.
yeah.
And the crowd was like pogoing up and down, like the building was shaking. And then, Clash came out and I was like, this is
This is
nowhere
what you got to
near the
follow,
energy.
man. Yeah. Clash,
Nowhere
you gotta
near the
follow
energy.
this now, right?
Yeah, and they couldn't follow it.
Yeah.
They just could. And I told Joyce, I had so much respect for you after that. I just went, wow.
No.
You know what? Randy was just pounding away. They were just going for it. And they drove all the way from Edmonton to Vancouver to do a show, and got paid shit.
Yeah,
funny
that's
enough,
what
like,
they were saying, you
the
get a
Clash was
few
one of my
beers, a
first
bit of
shows.
road space,
Yeah,
it's like,
Sure.
that's the way it was, right? Wasn't like, hey, will you come down, we'll fly you down, we'll shoot you like $5,000,
Nope.
take care of all your substance needs.
You're
and,
lucky if you get $100 and
It's
fucking
like,
free
no,
beer.
man, that
I
didn't happen in
remember.
the 70s
I remember the
and
first
80s.
time. The Dayglowers were playing at the Cobalt, and I was talking to somebody, Wendy or somebody, I can't remember, and talking about their guarantee, and their guarantee was $1,000. It's like $1,000, $1,000. I couldn't believe it.
You
I
thought
could-
that was a lot?
Yeah, I thought there was like Van Halen money.
This.
It was, I don't know.
Better have those red M&Ms on the fucking
That's right. That's right.
Like late 80s.
Take the
early
Browns out,
90s,
please.
around then,
Oh,
Okay,
there's
I
only
wanna
red
sound
M&Ms
like
in one
a needle
bowl.
freak or like
Or a fucking
Right,
plum
like
floating
that.
perfume served in a
Some of the
man's
guys
hat.
in-
Yeah.
That was
they
Yoko
work
Ono's.
and,
Yes.
if they don't have their fucking
Just to piss them off,
rent,
right?
bill payments, we can't.
It was actually Jeff
Yeah.
fucking
So,
explained it to me later.
there's
Because, everybody
inflation and
bitched
all
about what a
that.
bunch of rock star
I
douchebags.
understand flights
And
cost a
Colin
lot.
and Storms pulled me aside. Well, pulled me aside. We're
Well,
fucking
you know,
right now.
sometimes
And
it's
he's
like
well, you know why you
€5,000
did that,
or
right?
sometimes
It's
10,000.
like, well,
So,
no.
I mean,
It's to make sure that the
But at the
fucking
beginning,
promoters
you
are
have to pay
following the
to play.
fucking writer.
Where?
They
Yeah,
have a
the
tendency to
Polish
go
hall.
off.
Oh,
on
yeah.
their-
Oh, yeah.
off
Okay.
the
Hands
property
up.
and do their own
Yeah.
shit,
Yeah.
right? And not give you what is specified in your writer.
That's right.
So to have a bowl of red M&Ms,
But
make
that was
sure
different
that
though, too.
promoter is
Kelly,
following your
this
fucking
too.
contract.
Like Jerry's just saying, like having to play at like the Anza or whatever. Like it wasn't a matter of there was no guarantee. We
No,
had
I
to
booked
rent-
the Anza.
Right? We'd have to rent the thing
Yeah.
and do the thing.
Yeah.
And
First
and
of all,
you'd have to
at
pay
the
to
Anza, you had to be a member. So I had to
That's
get a
right.
membership.
Yeah,
yeah, right.
And then
That's right.
I was
I remember
able to
that.
book the fucking
That's
show.
right.
Yeah,
I remember
right.
that. I remember
And
that.
I just said, well, we need the room upstairs for, this particular day. We're going to have like 3 bands or whatever. They're like, okay, not a problem. Here you
Yeah.
go. Have the
Yeah, I
keys.
remember that.
And then,
I
pay a
worked that
deposit,
too.
whatever.
That was a great show.
Right,
though.
and
I
then
went
we
to that one,
fucking,
too.
we all showed up, we played the show, had too many fucking holes to get in there without paying, so, there was a lot of
Yeah.
people that weren't coming through the door and paying their
Or what's that place
Ticket
across the
price.
street from the Kingsgate Mall?
Oh, it used to be the Lunatic
Oh.
Fringe.
Yeah. That place was.
They fucking thought we were their house band for a while.
They did.
Every week they're calling me up going, hey man, you wanna play? It's like, dude, what? Because nobody would go to that fucking bar.
Yeah.
Otherwise they would be losing fucking money, so they'd pull me in to fucking play a show.
Yeah.
Then I bring in fans, right?
Yeah,
I remember.
Buy beer and shit.
I-
But then,
I've
hold
talked
on,
to
hold
you
on.
about that. Go ahead.
Specifically, we were playing shows and, fucking, okay, dude. Because, we're a fucking deep roots East band and shit with fucking a lot of fucking brothers and stuff.
Of course.
So their security kind of got the shit kicked a few times because, they're being doorman or whatever, or
Yeah.
being smart mouth or doing something stupid, so they'd get the fucking crap kicked out of them. And this was going on a weekly basis for like a couple
Alvar,
months.
the Iron One. What a wicked tatty, eh?
That's
You
a
like
nice
that one?
tattoo, yeah.
Oh, goddamn right, man. He's best in Europe. He's
The
fucking.
venues were
And he's
interesting.
a fucking punk.
The venues were awesome.
Just,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go back into the early 80s, Wolflust, when we're, you know,
Yeah,
84.
Brazil.
Remember the hall down here?
Goddamn
I
right,
used
man.
to
Gotta,
the Viking
gotta
Hall.
promote my Brazilian brothers.
The Viking Hall.
Remember the hall?
I know, you know,
Viking
all
Hall, just down here
that shit all the
Yeah,
time.
man.
on Hastings.
Fermented
Right,
oil,
almost, well, you know, it's pretty
sarcophagus,
close to
Of course.
Victoria Astoria.
Of course.
Yeah, there was the native fucking
Mausoleum.
complex that was
The
there.
names
But just
go
further
on
down.
and on.
All right.
And it used to
There
be
was
the Viking.
big shows
I know, but that place, the
Madness
Viking Hall, I
fucking,
seen
uh,
the Subhumans in there.
There's a lot
I
of
seen Pointed Sticks in there. A lot of good shows in there. A lot of good shows
Good
back
buddy
in
of
those
mine,
days.
Panzer,
I remember the name of that Viking Hall. And more likely, if we were standing in front of it, I'd be like, oh yeah, that place,
Yeah.
right?
That's why my
But
family lives there.
everything was so short-lived. And you'd think it was there for a long time because, you know, the York Theater, that was a staple. That was there for a few
That's right.
years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
You know,
couple years, yeah.
and then we
It
were all,
lasted quite a while.
it was awesome. It was like the best fucking place to see shows.
Yeah, it was good.
You know, I remember going there the first time. I can't remember exactly who it was. I think it was DOA. But anyway, this is when they still had seating all the way
That's
up
right.
to the front,
I
right?
remember that. Yeah.
Not for fucking long, man. Every fucking punk show that played there, all the seating got
the-
destroyed.
Yeah.
Because people would put down the seats
yeah.
and stand on top of
Stand
it
on
to
top.
see over top of the people.
Yeah.
And then start jumping around and all the seats got broken. Every single show. So they had to keep recycling them. And then they decided to dial them back, right? And then that didn't work either, right? Because people would destroy those. So then they just decided at one time just to take the entire floor. And they instead of the floor coming down like an actual movie theater or
Yes.
whatever,
Yeah.
it was stairs. And then it was all flattened out. So it was just
That's
you know,
right. I
flat.
remember that. Yeah.
Because, you know, standing for a while in the pit at the York Theater,
By the York.
you're still on a slant,
Started all
right?
yeah.
So it had its advantages, but then it also was tiring on.
Nostalgia.
But then you were
Yeah.
jumping around anyway and drunk.
Yeah, man, having a good time.
And here's something that I wonder
But
about.
all the sweat and all the fucking blood
many good
that would
beers.
hit the floor and beer and whatever else that people snuck in.
Numerous.
The floor was like a fucking ice rink.
Yeah.
Right? So you're in the pit just jumping around going nuts. And this is common back in the day. You didn't leave the pit until you were fucking bloody. You know?
Yeah.
You had
It was
broken
very common to
nose,
see
fucking
this guy come charging off this thing.
ripped off
Boosters,
I wasn't
shirt,
born with this
combat
thing, man. Right? Yeah.
And that was cool.
Catch me.
But your butt would never fucking hit the floor
That's
in
true.
a fucking
That's
drum.
true.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
true, man.
if you're fucking slipped before you even hit the ground, somebody's picking you up
Yeah,
and
that's-
an elbow in the face.
Yeah, sure.
Right? But it was accidental. It's never really on
Yeah, yeah.
purpose.
Oh,
You just
it was
fucking going
accidental. It's
crazy,
just
right?
That's the way it went.
It was awesome.
But we
Yeah.
loved it.
Of course.
But also in the early 80s, we still caught people.
Yeah.
That didn't, you know, you jump off stage, people would just, you know, we're not even paying attention, you would just be on top of you. So we'd fucking not couch surf, but crowd surf for a bit. And then, boom, on the ground, on your feet. Right? Then all of a sudden, around 85, people decided that they're not going to fucking catch you anymore.
Too good.
And they just split.
off the fucking
No,
stage. German combat boots.
that happened because of that. You got it fucking backwards, man. That happened because of that nobody was catching you. I'm not jumping head first if nobody's gonna catch me.
You know, you got razor blades melted into your boots. You got fucking spikes galore. Fucking, you're coming in boots first, like, "Arr! Who the fuck wants to catch this maniac?" Like,
You're a
you
little
get
bit,
all slashed up.
You're way off the mark on that
I was there, man. How can you say I'm off the mark?
one. You're totally off the mark.
5 feet away.
The only reason why we started diving feet
But no,
first,
people
and they actually did a fanzine about this, okay? Dan Walters is called Boots First. And that was because people stopped fucking catching. So we would have to jump feet first off the stage, otherwise you're
You're gonna
concussed.
land on your back.
You're gonna land on your head.
Exactly.
You know?
That sucks.
So if you were in the crowd and you're not paying attention to what the fuck's going on the stage and somebody's jumping at your feet first and you get knocked the fuck out, that's on you.
I watched my buddy do it at the Mad
Pay
Range.
the fucking attention.
Header knocked himself unconscious.
That's how I met a girlfriend actually.
She was solidly concussed.
Yeah, I knocked her the fuck
You
out.
probably woke up and got a phone call from the next morning. Hey,
And buddy from the Enigmas, what's his name? Fucking Real McKenzie.
Oh, Real McKenzie.
Paul.
Paul.
Yeah, Paul
Oh,
McKenzie,
I met
right?
Paul lives in the neighborhood.
yes.
All right.
See Paul last week.
So I know I went to school.
Paul's
check out,
cool. Yeah.
Right, Nikki.
She's
we
still
ended up,
around.
we ended up dating after that. But the thing is that, you know,
Knock her out. I guess.
I jumped up
She had a
first.
Harley Davidson
No.
at 16, so.
No. Anyway, but no, she did not. We were in our 20s when we dated,
Oh,
not
okay.
16.
Did I say 16?
Yeah, you just did. She had a
I
Harley
said
when she was
19.
16. No, she had a Harley. Fuck off. Anyway,
So
so.
dudes have no business riding on the back of Harleys anyway. But anyway, we won't get into that.
Yeah.
Nah, it's a joke. Come on.
Fucking jackass. Anyway, so I ended up knocking her out, hitting her in the face with my feet first, right? In the middle of the pit. I can't remember who it was. It was like, but they were doing whatever, taking photos. And Paul McKenzie comes running up, fucking, you asshole, you just knocked that chick out. And I didn't even know. I'm just skanking around. I was like, well, what are you talking about? Points at her, she's all cool. I'm like, well, she's not paying that fucking attention when she's in the middle of the pit. That's on her, man.
That's fair.
You gotta fucking watch what's coming off the stage, because everybody's stage diving.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna be standing around like this, ooh, out, and then, fuck.
Hey, look at this way. You got a girlfriend up.
Well, no, it was love at first sight, you know.
Okay, so Bruce,
No, I still talk to the woman. She's awesome. She's an awesome mom.
Bruce was in here the other day, and he was I was cutting his hair or whatever.
Big bad
Was
Bruce?
it,
Black metal Bruce?
Bruce, stay loose. And he
from,
wanted me to ask you
Buffalo.
guys about. He could be wrong, but he wanted me to ask you guys about going to LA and getting lost and wandering into Compton together.
That happened.
All right, so there's your story, Bruce. That happened.
Look,
Moving on.
what happened was, we were driving, we just left San Francisco.
Yeah.
Every asshole, well,
Yeah.
no, everybody drove my car with respect except for our drummer.
Drove your car with respect. I like
Oh,
that.
that was hilarious. Okay, I had a wisdom tooth fucking infection, so I'm dying in the very, because it was a station wagon, everybody wanted to
It's
sit
dragging
next.
wagon.
I took the very back
More
end, and
wagon.
I'm like cruising like this, and I'm in style, I'm laying the whole time. So, we're leaving LA.
Metal devastation.
And Blasphemy
Phoenix,
got
Arizona. Get your
Oh, this is
girlfriends,
a wild
get your
rag.
spikes.
Yeah, this is Wild Rags.
Oh,
Blasphemy
wow.
got signed, so we're leaving. We're
Are you in
leaving
the
LA.
band at this time or no?
No.
You're just
I booked a
with them.
show for the band in Berkeley at Gilman Street.
Gilman Street.
Right?
Straight edge.
Yeah,
Straight edge street.
My brother used to play there a lot.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Of course he did.
Bless his heart.
Yeah. Well,
They're very
you know,
Yeah, I mean,
it's a different world. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I got nothing against straight edge.
they're liberal
Yeah,
Nazis.
I wish I
Yeah.
was.
No, that's fair.
Oh, dude, there's a huge fucking sign right when you walk into Gilman Street. It tells you you're not allowed to swear, you're not allowed to
Oh,
spike,
no,
you're not
no.
allowed
No,
to
no
sin,
smoking,
no
no
homosexuality,
drugs, no
no.
beers, no
It's
this,
just,
no that.
and literally, it's a list going all the way down of
No
what you're
making
not allowed
out
to do.
with women.
I wanted to write on
Fine.
it, no fun, you know,
Yeah.
at the bottom because.
Anyway,
So we're leaving. Check out. We're leaving LA. I'm in the back. Sean Boy's driving. Jerry's in the fucking in the shotgun, right?
I'd always be up front.
And he's like, he's like, all right, Sean, let's go. We're going to San Francisco. Sean, Jerry's falling asleep. I'm totally awake because I'm like fucking my wisdom tooth's throbbing, and I'm watching Sean. And Sean's driving, and he'd look over and he'd see Jerry, right? And Jerry's asleep. And I'm watching the speedometer going.
Yeah,
It
of
starts
course,
going up,
told
right?
him to fucking
And I'm
slow
like
down.
watching this, and like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. And then Jerry, I watch him because I'm in the very back. His head stirs, right? And he does one of these. He looks over and he sees the speedometer. Slow the fuck down, man! And Sean's like, oh, whoa! The fucking speedometer goes. And he's like, you fucking idiot! You fucking drive the fucking speed limit. We don't want to get pulled over. Blah blah blah. All right, no problem. So she's just driving, right? And he do one of these. You keep looking at Jerry, you know, he starts falling asleep again. Straight away. Speedometer straight. He's pushing the pedal to the metal.
oh,
And I'm in the back just laughing to myself. So Jerry wakes
Marco
up
was a
again.
good driver, though.
Fucking slow down. He fucking gives him a shot. Jerry shows like, oh, slows down, right? Fucking. This went on for like a good half an hour,
I didn't have to worry.
And it was just so entertaining for me in the back.
So how did you get to Compton though? How did you
Well,
take a wrong left? or
No.
something?
We were looking for weed. Right? We were looking for weed, and he's like, turn down here, man, make this turn. This looks like a place. So we're in Compton driving around. Some dude just comes out of his fucking house. He's in the full fucking tracksuit, the gold chains, the beeper, all that shit.
Yeah.
And here's Jerry hanging out in the fucking passenger side door. Hey man, know where to get any smoke? Hey, come here, man. And there's like, okay. So there's Sean Boy driving, Jerry in the fucking side, all bald, tattooed up. Marco, bald, fucking,
Monster,
there.
baby.
Jeff, which, now the guy's confused as fuck, because there's all these fucking, these monster bald white guys in the hood.
And a monster black guy.
And then, there's me in the back, just fucking, checking everything else. And he's trying to get this gangbanger kid to come over to the car. The guy's like, fuck off, takes off on us, and we're like, what was his problem? And just drive away. We're looking for fucking some smoke. And then that's when Marco pipes up. He's like, hey man, I think I just seen this neighborhood on Cops last week. Right?
Cool. They must have dope.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so that was
We
cool.
didn't do
That was
anything
Compton.
with weed or LSD at the time.
Yeah.
Keep it cool.
Here's
So
something I
whereabouts
thought
in
about-
whereabouts in LA you guys play?
Anaheim.
Oh, yeah.
Play?
Yeah, play.
Gilman Street. Then
Yeah.
Oakland. at Fang's
Oh, Oakland.
house.
Oh, fucking Oakland. What a wild town that.
Yeah, we were there just
Holy
like
fuck.
right after the earthquake. So
You
we
gotta be
stayed
real.
like-
You really gotta watch yourself in Oakland.
Oh, well, my family.
Even more than
my
Compton,
aunts,
it's like
my mom,
fucking neat.
Everybody was born down
No,
there.
where we were in Oakland, it was West Oakland, by the West Oakland bar station.
Yeah.
It's like a demilitarized zone.
Yes, that's a
Full
shit.
on ghetto.
Yeah.
But Fang
That's
used to have a house there called the Madonna Inn,
Right.
right? And when I was down there in like 89 or 87,
It's rough then, for sure.
no, 88, I was down there in
You need
88.
the right
I
people.
stayed down there with
Yes.
that shit.
big
And so,
black guy or loud.
when we were going down to get,
Can't
when they were going down to get
see
signed, I just called it ahead. I was like, hey man, fuck, we're gonna be down in LA, I'm going to LA, can we come by and visit you? And it's like, yeah. And my friend Orlando, who played for the band Special Forces, lived
nice.
lived next door to fucking the Madonna Inn. So we went down, spent some time with them, right, blah, 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 and then, we're going straight through. That's when we met the next door neighbors. Fang had already moved out because Sammy Town already got arrested for murder and all that.
I don't think he was arrested at that point. He stabbed his woman and fucked off to Alaska.
No, that never happened. Anyway, so,
Okay, let's pretend it didn't happen.
no,
I
you
don't
didn't
know,
stab
maybe-
anybody, man.
Okay, I'll agree. I don't know.
All
I don't
right,
know
there was a
that.
death involved.
There was a death.
But let's just
Fang
leave
was
it at that.
involved in the
Not just, oh yeah, I went on a fucking killing spree.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying he went on a killing spree.
No, you're just stating that he stabbed
I don't
her.
know who killed her.
There was no stabbing involved.
Okay, well,
Somebody
maybe
was
she
dead,
shot.
though.
Somebody died. Let's just leave that.
Somebody was
She'll
dead.
leave.
So anyway, fucking the next door neighbors were now the Sinister Sisters of Satan. Right? They moved in next door.
That sounds cool.
Oh yeah, they're cool people,
They
right?
had a party for him.
Yeah.
They had coffins and shit.
They slept in coffins.
Good people.
It's
That's
awesome.
pretty cool.
I mean, I slept in a coffin too, so they were just right up my alley.
Oakland was an interesting place.
Yeah, punk rock.
Always.
Punkers.
All right,
No,
here's
they're not.
here's a question, and I talked to Jeff was at my place one day, and I was talking to him about this. Like I know we're talking about punk rock and East Van and all that stuff, but black metal specifically.
Wow.
Here's the thing that blows my mind about. Or Bonnie and I were listening to some of that new BLASPHEMY Go to Christ actually, and I was like, here's the thing about black metal to me anyway. Like punk rock, rockabilly, whatever it is, you can go, oh, the roots in this. You can go, oh, this comes from the blues or and black metal, man. You can't find it isn't there. There is no line there. It's just bang, just rage and energy, man. That
Well, that all
And
came
when-
from the punk rock though.
right, like Discharge, right?
Well, like all the old school shit.
Yeah.
Right? Discharge, GBH, Gizm,
GBH though, because I was thinking about it, because I knew you were coming, and you're a fucking historian. I was thinking about GBH and doom, like there's melody and there's all.
Well, they're very metal.
They're
If
metal.
you think about it, they're really a crossover act that was portrayed as being a punk rock
That's
band.
funny. That's
Right?
true,
Like
dude.
black metal. I mean,
Yeah,
the
that's
stuff
funny.
That's how they were marketed. It's a
Yeah,
fucking
right.
punk rock band. But they were more metal than they were.
That's like I always thought Tumult was a punk rock band.
Well, we were, but then we evolved.
And then-
punk.
Yeah.
It just evolved over time and got fucking bruther because of what we were exposed to by what we were creating.
Yeah, right.
Because we didn't know that we were influencing other people to do shit because they were influencing us.
Yeah.
And so we were taking from them and they were taking from us and we just kept going. And it was like a bunch of kids, like when you're teenagers and you all got your bikes, like, okay, let's jump ramps. Who can jump the highest? Let's jump over the fucking garage, sort of shit. It just keeps escalating,
Yeah.
right? So that's how the music was. It's who could be darker, who could be brutaler, who could be faster, who could be more fucking punishing and controversial.
Yeah.
Let's just fucking push the envelope until we can get the envelope so high, nobody else can make it.
Yeah.
You know, then that's freedom.
Because
you
if
know,
Motley
that's
Crue-
freedom of speech.
if Motley
Freedom
Crue
of
is heavy
everything,
metal,
freedom of expression. You're
and
art.
fucking Blasphemy or Tumult or Blasphemy Go to Christ or heavy metal. It's not the same fucking game. That's way more fucking punk rock. It's fucking completely punk rock to me.
Well, it's the
Well,
same
let me
ethos,
explain something.
but it's different evolution.
Yeah,
We
okay.
gotta interrupt things here. Like,
Good point.
Venom
Valid.
was like black metal, and they coined that phrase,
Yeah.
obviously, with the album and everything.
Everything.
But I wanted to be original, because we weren't Nazi skinheads, and we
You
weren't,
didn't have this, you wouldn't have that.
you know, they called us East Van skinheads, and then I was like, then the term black metal skinheads come up. But they didn't know that it was like, I tried changing the fucking name. It was like, no, we played nuke metal.
Nuke metal.
Yeah, or punk metal. Like first I called it punk metal, then it went to nuke metal, then it was just like stick with the black metal. Nobody knows what this nuke metal. And I hate getting like quiz. Well, what's nuke metal? What's punk metal?
War
Unless
metal.
they're really war metal, there's, you know.
Yeah.
Go to Bangkok, Thailand, hit the fucking man. They got Jew steel metal, this metal, automatic metal, this metal, that metal.
Yeah, right.
Wow, man, they really know their shit down there. But just
Yeah,
a lot
right.
of terms for metal, and, you know.
Yeah, right.
So nuke metal kind of went out the window, and it was just like black metal skinhead, because people just always called us East Van skinheads. It was like,
Yeah, right.
you remember that.
Satanic
Satanic skinheads, that's what they called us.
Satanic skinhead too.
Yeah, so whatever it was just like,
I know, I talked to Jeff about that. Jeff told me one time, he's like, oh, we didn't make up fucking black metal skinhead. And I think somebody did that because of white power skinheads, black metal skinheads.
Well,
that's what I assumed.
It showed the division.
white
No,
power.
like the opposite.
So that,
yeah,
so
the
that
opposite.
we wouldn't get lumped into the same category, even though people tried to. It was an actual device.
Well, if
Well,
they knew,
there was a
they
lot of-
would know there's a like
There's a
I've
big
seen some
difference,
damage
right?
done by Mr. Solar's boots
But you know,
with skinheads.
you know, that's just there was a definition between the white power fucking dudes, their skinhead shit. Then there was your fucking sharps,
Yeah.
right? You had the fucking
Sharps,
skinheads that
skins.
weren't fucking into the white power shit.
Racist.
And then you had us,
Yeah.
which didn't fucking really fit the roster, but here we are, boots, braces, bald heads, and black fucking metal, right?
Yeah.
And what the fuck did you just say to me? I'm gonna knock your fucking teeth
They're
out.
way better musicians.
But
Wait,
you know what you get. Like I like what he said though. Like it all is freedom. I mean
Oh,
that's so
what it was.
cool what you said.
I used to think so.
It's so cool what he said because it makes sense. Makes sense to me, right? No, it makes sense.
Except for when he
Yeah,
gets
it's
locked
freedom
up.
of expression, right? And you don't get, and if you don't,
Yeah, of course.
if you don't practice that shit,
Yeah.
and it comes out of music, you're gonna lose it.
Yeah, well,
right?
we're seeing that right now.
Yeah.
Cancel
Yeah.
culture and all this
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Right? Where they're like, oh, I didn't like your lyrics from fucking 45 years ago. We're gonna cancel your band. And it's like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But if you say fuck you, now they get offended and then they go on and do their TikTok
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
and got 10,000 supporters because they got offended. It's like, if you can't,
Child.
whatever. The world is fucking upside down. And it's
Yeah,
completely
but
fucking
but what I'm trying to say to you if you continue that
Then you lose.
expression, but if we continue it now, push back that way,
Well, that's the only
that's the only way it's going to keep it
Well, that's
alive,
the
right?
only way that it's going to work.
Yeah,
People
because otherwise, like you said, you got
We're gonna lose
that
it.
dry shit that's out, some of the stuff that's out there now that is, you know,
they got
it's still
sick.
consumer driven. I'm gonna use the word consumer driven.
Yeah.
And you know what? And when it's consumer driven, it keeps
Lowest common
it
denominator.
keeps
yeah.
everything down, right? And then
Well, it
the
becomes
assholes
safe.
are happy.
Exactly.
Yeah, safe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
yes.
They got
Good
sick
word. Good word.
metal bands now. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? You know,
Yeah.
well, you know, it's for us LGBTQ or whatever. Well, I didn't even care if you were at our shows. How was it not safe? How did you
Yes,
feel threatened?
yes.
Yeah.
Because my anxiety, that's on you, man. To take care
So,
of your
well,
own
you know,
anxiety.
isn't that-
Worry. You
isn't
come
that-
up to me at a show, I don't care who the
It's not
fuck
like
you
we ever
are. And
booked
say,
you
I really
on
love your set, that was
our
awesome. And be like,
shows.
oh,
We never
right,
booked
thank
shows.
you.
We never
And
booked
now
you.
your
I
anxiety
never
is
seen
stopping
people
me from
bullying
doing that.
Yeah.
I
That's,
know people got
I think-
they got to slap a few out here.
People,
and there.
whatever. People need to get punched out, but people
I don't-
get punched out for being
Some
idiots.
people
You know,
need
that's
to
usually what happens around me.
It teaches
Right? Not for
them.
who
It's
you
like
kiss.
live and learn.
I don't care who you kiss.
You're a
But you know
fucking
what-
If you're an
jackass.
idiot, though,
Well,
somebody's
that-
gonna get
Kiss
knocked
me.
out.
Yeah, you know, that's like I told you about. I won't mention the situation.
No, I know.
But you know, I went to this place where you know you try to get a gig, you know, one time in the last year or two, and the guy says, you know, oh, we're this, we're that, we're this. I go, okay, my band is this, this, and this. It has the same kind of people that you're talking about in my band.
Okay.
But they won't allow
Mix,
them to
mix,
play.
but you don't want us to play there. Oh, well,
'Cause
we're
they-
not saying that. I says, well, I think if you want to talk woke, I think
That-
we're more woke than you are, and get this, we're not trying to be woke.
And that's the thing.
Like you're
because
saying,
they
we're
won't-
not trying to be fucking woke.
Because your
we're
band
just,
won't put it on a flag and wave it and go, oh, this is
no,
who we
we're
are.
just, this is who, it's what he just said, that we don't care. We are who we are.
Yeah.
We don't care if you are, if you're not, like
Exactly.
this, that, or the other thing. We don't care. We just want to play music and express ourselves.
Exactly.
So all this shit that you're talking about is a big fucking joke.
It
Because
is.
you're just trying to do this out of it.
That's it.
You're trying to make a buck out of what you're calling woke. And that is bullshit because none of us ever, in all the music that we've played all the years, we never expressed anything different.
Yeah.
But the music. So anybody could be involved.
All we try to do is express.
Yeah,
See,
it's like
when
I never said,
when I
hey,
write
dude, you got the
music-
wrong haircut, you can't come in. You
When
know?
I write music,
Well, if you got a mustache, you should probably
Yeah,
stay
well,
out.
you should probably shave it off and maybe-
Mustaches over the
Goatees
line.
are okay. but
Moustache.
I don't know.
Yeah, if you got a long goat beard, then that's
So,
okay.
can we cut this halfway and have a smoke break?
Well, then we got no cut.
We got no cut.
No cuts?
No cut. But we can call it if you want.
Well, we don't have to shut down the video now.
We can keep going as long for a while longer.
Yeah, another beer's worth of time.
Another bit. You can get up and grab a beer. We can keep going.
Oh, I mean, I haven't even
Can we-
finished this
can
one
we bring
yet.
him
You
in?
want half a sandwich?
Yeah, you want to come in?
Sure, yeah.
Come on in.
Should I bring you guys a beer?
No, I didn't.
No, I mean, sit
Got the
down.
Blasphemy Go
Let's
to
talk
Christ drummer
about Blasphemy Go
right
to Christ
over
now
here
that
on
Kelly's
the
not
fucking
around.
sideline.
Yeah, come on in.
One of the younger guys. but
Yeah,
he's
sure,
a
bring him in.
talented musician.
Come on in. I've seen you sitting there and
Rather
hear
see
good
you,
things
young
about
man.
you. So fucking
So I've been listening to
Same age as
Blasphemy
my
Go to
daughter,
Christ.
but-
Good man.
I've been listening to that since Jerry gave me the fucking cassette, and I was like, and so I listened to that, and I thought black metal, like I thought I had a fairly good idea about black metal, and then you guys, honest to Christ, just went, sorry,
Full
saying
tilt, really.
Christ, honestly, just pushed that thing to a, I never heard anything like it, and it's insane. Like it's faster, it's harder, it's way scarier than
It's
like.
the involvement from
Dude,
like
it's
Blasphemy,
Like what Kelly was
80s,
just talking
early
about,
90s to
building upon
2000s.
how fast and brutal can you go?
Yeah.
I was talking to Evandro like almost every day when we made that demo. And we're just like, yeah, this just has to be the fastest, most brutal
Muchos
shit. And
gracias, muchacho.
that was the only goal in mind, so.
Faster.
Faster, more brutal, outdo it. It
More
sucks playing drums
militant.
for that.
And it's
Black metal warfare
so
is
tight,
like-
dude.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so tight.
So
And what do you
now,
think about that? Like, what I was saying. Like, there's, like if you listen to that Blasphemy Go to Christ, which I fucking love, and you will all love it, is you can't find a thread that goes back to like Chuck Berry in that. It does. I don't.
Oh, you
fucking
probably
hear
do.
it.
You probably do.
I can't hear it. I
You
can't
probably do.
Lewis.
Gotta remember at that time.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, sure. You know what?
You heard it here,
Because
folks.
those people are doing what they are doing. They're pushing the envelope, like
Oh,
you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
said,
Getting it down
for
to
that
the
time
ball.
period.
Yeah, Chuck.
That time
Yeah,
period.
me too.
Especially
People
when
will
you're
react.
Yeah, of course. Me
Really?
too.
Yeah, people will react back then, right? They go like, holy shit, that's just fucking too much for me to handle. And that's what they did back then. So that's the, if anything you connect, like you're saying, look for the connection, that is the connection. And that music pushes the boundaries. It pushes the edges. Like if you go to the blues guys, you know, like way back in the 20s and 30s,
That's what
they're
started
singing,
the rock.
they're singing about shit because they're oppressed
Yeah.
by white society, and they were oppressed, so they had to speak out.
And give them something that they're not expecting.
Yeah, that's great,
Well, that's what we
and
were
it's
doing
not changed. It's not changed.
in Vancouver for sure. That's what
So
we're
you
doing.
must have hit quite a few of the Buddha gigs, huh?
Oh yeah,
Right on.
yeah, Smiling Buddha stuff. Yeah,
70s shows.
yeah. I mean, like I miss Hendrix playing there even, right?
You've seen Hendrix?
I know I'd seen him
Oh,
there,
you just
but he
missed it.
played there. I
Oh,
just
I
missed
didn't
it.
know
Yeah,
that. I know
yeah. He
Smiling
played there
Buddha
before he
there.
became really big.
Yeah.
Because his grandmother lived up in Vancouver.
Yeah,
Just
kind of by the
suburb, yeah.
viaduct or something.
that's right,
yeah.
with the viaduct. She had a little shack,
Hogan's Alley.
Yeah, right.
Hogan's Alley, and she
Yeah.
lived there. And her place is actually preserved.
Cool.
Somebody has preserved it. Yeah,
That wouldn't be Sue's old shop, would it?
I think it might
Oh,
be.
where-
I think you might be right.
Really?
I think
Where
so.
Mad Dog had that
Oh,
place.
yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, had that place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Well, that was a little shack.
Yeah, it's a little small place that he lived, but he used to come up in Seattle and stay with her.
I think he lived there in the summer or something.
Yes, yeah, and then he went and played there.
Yeah.
And then the Smiling Buddha had, of course, all the punk shows. All the great punk shows in the
With the
early
chickens.
days.
Yeah, I missed
Yeah,
Boston,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I've heard all about it. Right
A
on
lot
the
of black people
right on
used
the
to live
beach,
along that strip
English
there.
Bay, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And, yeah, man, I wish
I
they
think
could
Jimi
make a
Hendrix
store
was
on
the one
that.
who him for a
I'm
while.
good.
Say back in the 60s and 50s.
Yes.
But I was born in the 60s. So.
Yeah, so, but you know what I mean, like when you're talking, when he's talking about the music like that, you know, where you look for the thread, the thread goes all the way back to like, okay.
Back to the caveman
So-
days,
so-
clicks and grunts.
Yeah,
rocks
right
and
back to the
rolls.
caveman days, right? I mean, it extends, like, you guys are pushing the envelopes and it goes all that way back, you know? When I see artists like, with
Good
guys
point,
like,
Joe. Good point.
because when I would watch stuff like that, like Jerry is a perfect example. Like fucking guy was crazy. Motherfucker stands up on the piano and fucking like stomp on the piano and getting the
Right in there, Jerry Blackwin's there.
yeah, but then he's sitting on the fucking piano, he's standing on the piano and he's stomping the piano and he's getting the vibration out of the piano. You know, not the notes, the hitting it and the strings of the piano are bouncing off the stage. Who fucking does that?
Yeah.
And then lights the fucking thing on fire. Like, you know, you go,
Oh, I
oh, shit.
thought it was, what's that black guy's name?
Little Richard.
Little Richard.
Another
That
guy.
guy's a fucking smoke show.
Yeah, he
monster.
punched
Didn't
fucking
he light his
envelopes too,
fucking
man.
piano on fire?
He was
and shit?
fucking way
I love
ahead of his
that guy.
fucking time.
Way ahead
Yeah.
of his time.
Yeah.
I know a lot
You
of
know
people
what?
thought he
In
was
so
gay,
many
he's
different
not.
ways.
Well, when you get banned from
Whatever.
being played on the air just for his song "My Stingling,"
Yeah,
which is fucking hilarious, but
Yeah.
He was a bit of a brute.
you know,
Yeah.
that's when you know you've made it. When they ban you or they try to fucking blacklist you in
know
any
you're doing
way,
something right. Like,
you're doing the right fucking thing
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's when people are gonna take notice. Right? It's like when Blasphemy fucking the Town Pump show, right? When we all played Blasphemy 2 Mall Procreation. And
I think cops got
oh,
beaten up, and so they
no,
showed-
no.
I mean,
it was fucking all the bouncers in the place that decided that because they're all football jocks and shit from SFU.
So-
They thought that there was no moshing because they were used to
No
pushing around the
moshing.
punk rockers all the time.
Yeah.
Right? So they'd throw
I don't
punk
think
rockers
it's
out and shit like that.
Pogo.
But when they tried it at the black metal show in Blast, we all played,
rockers, yeah.
that's when we pushed back. The crowd literally fucking, because it wasn't your normal fucking, bunch of punk rock kids. It was a bunch of East Vandals and fucking,
Yeah.
you know, some fucking superstars
Yeah,
and
dude.
shit in the audience too, right?
What was that show?
And all the bouncers got the crap kicked out of them. And by the end of the night, they were all hiding in the coat check room.
Yeah, right.
Right? And there was like fucking 8 dudes and a couple of chicks in a fucking coat check room because it was the only one that had a lock.
Fucking
on the door, and they're hiding in there. And we had the run of the entire town pump and we were doing our loadouts and shit like that. Didn't talk to a single person on the way up. And that's when we found out afterwards that we were blacklisted from playing any fucking clubs in Vancouver, right? And that's when I said, okay, well, fuck you then. I'm just gonna fucking start booking the halls, right? And start doing shows out of halls.
Yeah.
And that's what I started doing. And meanwhile, this is tumult days, right?
Yeah.
So we're doing
Come
house
back in
parties.
center camera.
We're doing house parties and shit like that. And the name is building and fucking all that crap. It's fucking, we're getting a following. Blacks, you can't play anywhere, they don't care anyway. And I just said, fuck it, let's start. It says BLASPHEMY can't play anywhere. I'm just gonna start booking our own shows, right? And did that a couple of times, and that's when the promoters, because this is a couple of years later, right? So the promoters started noticing that we're making money and they're not.
In that time too, like that's probably the shows that the Antichrist guys were at. They're playing
That was
Metallica
a little later,
covers
yeah.
and
That was
stuff.
when we got them at the York Theater. But it's the same timeline, yeah.
Yeah, people saw that though, and they're playing like thrash, and they see Blasphemy once or twice, and they're like, they told me themselves, they're like, we got to go back to the drawing board, and they just
'Cause
totally
it's not-
redesigned the band.
all their bands, yeah, they had to fucking redo it. We would start playing shows, and people would be like, what just happened, right? We're the heavyweights, and then these guys
And the
come
bomb
in
went off.
and just boom, just shit kicked everybody and walked off stage. There was actually times where we would show up to a show, and it's like, fuck, I forgot a patch cord. And so you go to one of the other bands and go, hey man, can I borrow a patch cord? No. I was like, well, what do you mean? I just need a patch cord to play. We're right on after you guys. No, I'm packing up. I'm going home. It's like, dude, fuck. So we couldn't play a show because they wanted to go out on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went out. We're the heaviest band that night. What about that other band that was supposed to play after? Oh, well, they could play because, they didn't bring all their gear.
Cowards.
Fuck you.
Cowards.
Well, literally, right?
Yeah.
But that's just what you were looking at back in the day when you were ahead of the curve, right? Nobody understood what we were doing, for one, because it was just ridiculous to
Well,
them.
it moved a lot slower. They had to get demo tapes around here.
Well, we already did, but even with,
not everybody heard that.
nobody had heard that. There was a select few that was into that shit, and then they fucking, they were still stuck in the four food groups, as I like to call it, of fucking the scene back then, right?
Yeah.
Anything that was outside of that was completely foreign and they didn't want nothing to do with it. Even though I told a few people that, give this 20 years, every band is going to be fucking doing blasts. And no, that'll never happen. It's always just going to be the 4/4 sort of shit. No, buddy. It's going to fucking be blast beats because the bar is being raised.
Yeah.
And sure enough, 20 years later, that was Sean Jones, by the way,
There you
came
go.
up to me and goes, dude, you were so fucking right. Everybody's fucking, it's all about the blast beats. It took me a while to catch up, but yeah, you guys were way ahead of the curve.
Sean, if you see this, come and see me. If you're
Yeah,
watching
Sean.
this, come and see me.
Talked about so much about coming to see Ash, man. And
Come and see
I know we
me.
never got around to it. This
Fucking-
guy's got sleeves done by Sean Jones. Back
Oh
when-
yeah, I got a bunch
Before,
of Sean.
Sean went blind for a couple of years.
Stone?
Sean
Sean
Jones.
Sean Jones, yeah.
The drummer or the tattoo?
Tattoo artist.
Tattooist is Stone. Jones is the tattooist.
Jones is the tattooist.
I love that guy. I love you guys
They're
too.
both drinkers.
I love you guys. It's been
Yeah,
a lot of years. I was thinking about it last night, man. I was thinking about what are we going to talk about, what are we going to do. There's so many things we can talk about. And really, I fucking love you guys. I've loved you guys for so long,
I've
man.
known you
And after
fucking
a while,
since you were
it was
what,
just like
20?
machine-
Yeah,
like,
dude.
We were doing
19 years
like-
old.
Yeah.
We wouldn't just do one set.
And Sue and everybody.
Like, set 5 times.
Well,
then take a
we're
break.
basically members of an extended family that I'd never actually met
Oh,
myself.
you missed the
until we
beat.
met.
Kick
Yeah.
symbol.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's what I
actually-
loved about the punk rock scene back in the day, because I grew up in a very, very small family. And then it was like, when I got into the punk scene, it was like an extended family that I'd never met, and they accepted me with open arms and treated me like they'd known me for fucking ever.
Me too.
And I'm like, here's a 15-year-old impressionable
No hard
fucking
feelings.
kid going to the John Barley's, which is the gay bar in Gastown,
Yeah.
that would have punk rock shows. And
teeth.
It's like I knew everybody,
Motherfucker.
right? And they all thought I was fucking, obviously of age to get into the bar,
Shows
because
how
I was
much
at
you
the
guys
bar,
were
but I
versatile.
wasn't. You know, I was fucking underage, and they just, everybody treated me like I was fucking in my 20s.
And accepted.
Well, I got to hang out with all the 20-year-olds.
Yeah, hard, but it was
Right, so I got to hang out with the actual real punks in Vancouver. And that was back in the day when all the chicks would wear fucking corsets and lingerie and shit. That was punk as fuck,
Yeah.
and it was hot as fuck. You know, it was like, oh my
You know what I
god.
always thought was the hottest thing was a skull skates, long sleeve, and those stripy fucking tights. Like Trish Grocott. Didn't you go with Trish Grocott?
And it was like a
I think you
warehouse.
did. I know Sean did.
Trish Dish?
No,
I mean,
no,
our warehouse
no,
section
no.
was probably.
You went out with Sean for a while. I thought you went out with her.
No, I'm thinking about Trish who went out with Todd Zilla for years as well. But I haven't seen her in fucking decades. Last time I seen her was in New West, and she was all
Sure
wired.
hope he doesn't like
But
one of those
that goes neither here nor there.
Yeah.
like, well, the
So I
last
don't know
one
what
was
happened to her.
smashing all their beer bottles.
Are we just hanging out? Should we wrap this thing up? It's been about an hour.
You're gonna have to.
Everybody
expect
happy with this?
We'll
I don't
try
know.
to keep it to a minimal until Victor Thiessen went all nuts and broke the toaster.
Okay, we're gonna shut this down,
Snorted a
but
couple grams of-
every single one of our podcasts I've mentioned Bonnie.
The golden plate.
Come on in, Bonnie. Say hello.
Say hello, buddy. I wanna
Hi,
say
this is
one last
Bonnie.
thing, Ash.
This is who
Here
I
I
say
come.
hello to every
Go ahead, say
single.
one last thing.
Eastman
Here
Reign
it
Supreme, as well as you want a proper set of spikes, proper belts like this, good wallets. Metal Devastation is the place to go to.
Cool.
He is the man that makes the spikes for all the fucking bands. Geraldo's the name, Metal Devastation's the game.
Yeah, show 'em
Phoenix,
that.
Arizona.
Felix and Phoenix.
But also Ross Bay Cult.
Ross Bay Cult, all you read
Eternal.
Ross Bay Cult.
Nuclear war
Freaks
now.
out there, and in Faustus, my wife Dulcie from Mexico.
Hi.
America, all you black meddlers.
Praise
all over the
hail.
world.
Hail the black goat.
Yeah, goats.
Take care.
Hail the Srusto.